Michelle Obama has been the center of some of the strangest and most controversial rumors on the internet. From Joan Rivers' shocking comments just weeks before her death, to viral clips of Barack Obama slipping up on stage, these theories have refused to die, no matter how many times they've been debunked. But why does this story keep coming back? Who started it? And what does it say about the way the internet treats powerful women in politics? Today, we're breaking down the bizarre internet conspiracy theories about Michelle Obama, where they came from, why people still talk about them, and the truth behind the rumors. Back in 2014, legendary comedian Joan Rivers shocked reporters when she casually joked that Michelle Obama is a transgender. We all know it wasn't a setup, it wasn't part of her comedy act. She just said it on camera and walked away. 2 weeks later, Joan tragically passed away during what was supposed to be a routine medical procedure. The official cause of death was listed as complications from surgery. But because of her comment about Michelle, the internet quickly connected the dots and built a narrative that her passing was no coincidence. Conspiracy forums lit up with claims that Joan had been silenced for speaking too freely. And while doctors, family, and official reports insisted her death was simply a tragic accident, the timing gave fuel to years of speculation. To this day, Joan Rivers is remembered not just for her sharp tongue and legendary career, but also for being the first high-profile celebrity to openly suggest something many corners of the internet had whispered about for years. One of the biggest reasons this theory refuses to fade comes down to Barack Obama himself. Over the years, eagle-eyed viewers have clipped together moments where the former president seemed to slip up on stage. In one famous clip, Barack is addressing military families when he thanks Michael, before quickly correcting himself to say Michelle. Another viral moment shows him catching himself mid-sentence, stumbling between my M, and then quickly shifting to Michelle. To most people, these are just simple tongue twisters. After all, public figures speak thousands of words every day, and even presidents trip over their sentences. But in the online world, those little stumbles turned into major fuel for speculation. Clips spread across YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter with titles like Obama exposes Michelle or The Michael Moment. Each video racked up millions of views, proving that even the smallest soundbite can be spun into evidence when the internet is already primed to believe a bigger story. And whether you see them as innocent mistakes or subtle clues, one thing is clear. These viral moments kept the rumor alive long after Joan Rivers first spoke out. Another reason this rumor won't die is because of so-called receipts that pop up online every few years. One of the most circulated examples is a supposed voter registration record from Illinois in the 1990s. Screenshots claim Michelle was listed as male back then, only to later change the registration in the late 2000s. Conveniently around the same time, Barack announced his presidential run. Whether or not these records are authentic is a different story. Many fact-checkers have dismissed them as either doctored images or misinterpreted documents. But the internet doesn't always care about fact-checks. Once a screenshot goes viral, it takes on a life of its own. People even pointed to Barack's old birthday post for Michelle, where fans claimed there were two different versions of the same photo. One looked normal, while another allegedly showed Michelle with more masculine features. Of course, without original sources, these comparisons are impossible to prove. Still, the reposts and commentary kept speculation alive. At the end of the day, these so-called receipts say more about how rumors spread online than they do about Michelle herself. But in conspiracy circles, screenshots like these are treated like gold. And every few years, they resurface to spark the same heated debates all over again. One of the most talked about angles in this entire controversy is the so-called missing photos theory. Critics often point out that there are countless pictures of Barack and Michelle from their younger years, but noticeably absent are any widely available photos of Michelle during pregnancy. This gap has fueled endless speculation. Some claim this is proof that the couple used a surrogate for their daughters, Malia and Sasha. Others even go further, tying the girls to family friends like Dr. Anita Blanchard and Martin Nesbitt, who have been close to the Obamas for decades. The theory suggests that Blanchard could have acted as the surrogate, a claim that has never been backed by hard evidence but continues to gain traction online. Fact-checkers and mainstream outlets have repeatedly pushed back, noting that not every family shares personal moments publicly, especially high-profile political figures. But the absence of pregnancy photos has become a favorite talking point in conspiracy circles. And for those already convinced by the Big Mike theory, this missing puzzle piece only seems to confirm what they already believe. Whether it's a simple case of privacy or something more, the lack of visible pregnancy photos remains one of the most recycled claims whenever this rumor comes back to the spotlight. No conversation about these rumors ever skips over Joan Rivers. Back in 2014, the comedian made a joking remark in an interview where she casually referred to Michelle Obama as a transgender. 2 weeks later, Rivers tragically passed away after complications during what was supposed to be a routine throat procedure. The official cause of death was hypoxic arrest, a lack of oxygen during surgery. But almost immediately, speculation exploded online. Fans pointed to the timing, claiming her passing was too coincidental. Some conspiracy channels even pushed the idea that Joan was silenced for speaking out. Medical experts have consistently maintained that her death was the result of surgical complications, with no foul play involved. The internet thrives on mystery. To this day, videos and posts frame Joan Rivers as a kind of whistleblower whose life ended right after making her infamous comment. Whether you believe it was a tragic accident or something darker, Joan's name remains at the center of this theory, fueling an entire generation of conspiracy videos, blogs, and late-night debates. There's a reason these rumors keep circling Michelle Obama, and it's not because of evidence. It's because of how the internet and power dynamics work together to create and amplify stories about certain people. First, Michelle is a powerful, visible Black woman who's been a major political figure for nearly 2 decades. That combination makes her a target for sexist and racist tropes that long predate social media. When a woman of color rises into influence, some corners of the internet reflexively respond with personal attacks and character smearing, and wild stories are an easy attention-grabbing tool. Second, she's iconic. Icons attract myths. The more admired someone is, the easier it is for rumor engines to turn admiration into obsession, and obsession into conspiracy. Fans and critics alike treat gaps in her public story as mysteries to be solved, even when the gap is simply privacy. Third, political polarization fuels the fire. In an era where every story can be weaponized, opponents and click-hungry creators lean into anything that will damage a reputation or drive views. A sensational claim about a high-profile political family spreads faster than nuance ever could. Fourth, confirmation bias and the anonymity of social media. People already primed to distrust elites will latch on to any clip, screenshot, or out-of-context quote that seems to confirm their view, and anonymous accounts happily push those pieces without accountability. Screenshots look convincing at a glance, and once they spread, corrections rarely catch up. Finally, the economics of outrage. Platforms reward engagement, and outrage drives clicks. Channels, pages, and accounts that traffic in scandal quickly learn that dramatic, unresolved questions keep audiences coming back, even when the underlying claims are flimsy or debunked. Put all that together, and you get a perfect storm. A high-profile woman, political stakes, social media mechanics, and financial incentives to amplify rumor. That's why Michelle, fair or not, ends up at the center of stories that keep coming back, decade after decade. Michelle Obama's story isn't unique. If you look across history, powerful political figures almost always become magnets for bizarre or shocking rumors. It's practically a pattern. Take Hillary Clinton, for example. For years, conspiracy theories about her health, secret scandals, or supposed double lives dominated headlines and forums. Donald Trump faced nonstop claims about hidden business ties and alleged affairs. Even presidents as far back as Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy were surrounded by wild stories that blurred fact with speculation. The higher the stakes, the more extreme the rumors. Why? Because these stories serve a purpose. They chip away at credibility. They turn human beings into characters in a soap opera where people either idolize or demonize them. And on the internet, the stranger or darker the claim, the faster it spreads, especially when there's little incentive to fact-check before hitting share. In Michelle's case, the rumors fit neatly into this broader playbook. Take a woman in the spotlight, attach an identity-based allegation, and watch it spiral. It's a strategy that doesn't require proof, just repetition. And once a claim enters the meme cycle, it takes on a life of its own. resurfacing again and again whenever her name trends. The bigger lesson here is that no matter who holds power, political rumor mills thrive on creating myths. They aren't really about uncovering truth, they're about keeping audiences hooked, suspicious, and divided. Michelle just happens to be one of the most visible examples in the modern era. At the end of the day, Michelle Obama remains one of the most talked about first ladies in U.S. history, and that visibility comes with a price. From Joan Rivers' infamous comments to Barack's so-called slip-ups, from mysterious voter records to the absence of pregnancy photos, the internet has spun an entire web of speculation around her. For some, these rumors are entertaining. For others, they're a way to undermine her influence. But whether you believe them or not, one fact is clear. Michelle has become a symbol far bigger than herself. The story of these allegations isn't really about proving or disproving a single rumor. It's about what happens when power, politics, and internet culture collide. The more popular or influential someone becomes, the more likely it is that their image will be twisted into myths that keep people talking. And Michelle's story shows how quickly speculation can turn into evidence in the eyes of millions online. So what do you think? Are these just the same old internet conspiracy patterns playing out again? Or is there something deeper behind the constant focus on Michelle Obama? One thing's for sure, this won't be the last time her name sparks debate. And as with every viral controversy, the truth might matter less than the conversation it creates.